experiencing things is the only way to know that something is true.
It's the only way?
The only way. Basically, our organization, Shinji Shumeikai.
What is that?
Shinji
Yeah.
Shumeikai.
Okay.
And it stands for God's Love Supreme Light Organization.
Hmm.
And our founder, Mokichi Okada, believed that a heaven on earth could be created for all people. And that's our primary mission, to create a paradise on earth for all people. And the foremost way that he thought that we would be able to do that is through a spiritual purification process called jyorei.
Jyorei?
And jyorei.
How do you spell that?
Jyorei. And it took him many years to develop it. He started out as a hands-on healer in the early 1930s, and people started asking him to teach them because he was so effective with his hands-on healing. But he discovered that his students were actually taking on some of the energy of who they were trying to heal. And he said, I have to make it completely hands-off so that that does not happen. It took him over 10 years to develop jyorei, but he, through research and testing and retesting, he discovered that by holding our hand up and directing divine energy through us and through an amulet that we wear that has a calligraphy, a Japanese calligraphy symbol on it that stands for light, that we can direct divine light to people through their third eye and also through the crown chakra. So in the 5-minute healing sessions that we do here, we have people gently close their eyes and we direct that light to their third eye and then have them gently lower their head so that we have access to their crown chakra. And that sends the divine light, which is intelligent, throughout their entire central nervous system and goes and heals whoever needs what type of healing in whatever area of their body, because it's intelligent. So it will go to where you need it, go where I need it at that moment. So it's very wonderful and magical. It's a magical process, very easy for us as practitioners, because we are constantly getting re-energized with this energy each time we give it, and then we also exchange and give it to each other. So we're constantly replenishing our ability and power to give jyorei. So it's wonderful.
So, great. Let me kind of recap what I'm hearing you say just to make sure I'm getting it.
Yes.
And just correct me if I'm wrong.
Okay.
So, you believe in this jyorei, which is a type of like spiritual purification,
Yes.
and it's like a type of hands-off healing, and it allows you or anyone who does this to use this like divine energy to heal someone through their crown chakra on like on the top of their head
And their third eye.
and their third eye. And doing this really helps people. It helps heal them and in whatever way they need to be healed.
It starts working on that. Usually people, especially if they have a serious physical challenge, they may need multiple sessions, sometimes longer sessions. But some people are immediately healed, which is quite amazing when that happens. But it means that they are ready for that type of healing at that moment and ready to be completely healed.
Some people are immediately healed.
Some people are immediately healed.
Hmm.
So that doesn't happen that often. Usually people need a series of sessions with jyorei.
Okay. Can we talk about your reasons why you believe this to be true?
Absolutely.
Okay. First, could I get a sense of your confidence that jyorei is like a real thing? Say on a scale from 0 to 100?
Oh, 100. Absolutely.
100%?
Just from personal experiences
Hmm.
that I've gone through myself. Of in fact, well, I live at the Shumei Hollywood Center, so I've been there for like 7 months. And every morning we get up and we chant and exchange jyorei. So um, in the just this morning, it was kind of cool in the sanctuary, and I said, "Boy, it's kind of cold in here." But as soon as Dan, one of the members, gave me jyorei, my whole body just warmed up, totally warmed up, head to
Interesting.
toe. And I said, "Wow, it's not cold anymore. That's really interesting. This has never happened before." I mean,
Yeah, and
so I'm getting surprised
you're attributing jyorei to
to the
that?
healing because it's a purification by fire.
Hmm.
So heat comes along with it.
Okay.
Usually we heat up. I have experienced giving jyorei, and at the end of a 10-minute session, just totally dripping with sweat, having to change my shirt. I heated up. I mean, it was amazing. I said, yes, jyorei is a healing by fire.
So what I'm hearing you say is all these personal experiences are giving you confidence that it's really true.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Could it be possible these personal experiences are not a reliable way to know this is true? Like whatever you're doing could have like no relation to jyorei, like
No.
being true?
Because experiencing things is the only way to know that something is true.
It's the only way?
The only way.
Hmm.
You experience it.
Is there any way to test this belief?
You experience it.
Experiencing.
Yes, that's it.
Okay.
The experience is the truth.
Is there any experience you could experience to lower your confidence about it? What would you have to learn to find out?
One of my friends, I gave jyorei to her. She was in a nursing home and diabetic and going on the dialysis 3 times a week, and I said, "Oh, let me give you jyorei." Now, she didn't say anything the first time I gave it to her, but by the third time, she said, she was kind of hesitant, and she said, "Well, Annie, when you give me jyorei, I can feel organs of my body moving." And so she said, "I don't particularly like that." And she didn't care. I said, "Why didn't you tell me the first time that it happened?" And she didn't know why. I mean, so, but her internal organs were moving every time I gave her jyorei,
She knew that?
and she could feel it. And so that's kind of scared her
Oh.
that's kind of scared her. And she hasn't let me give her jyorei since because it was kind of fearful experience for her.
I'm not saying this is the case, but if we found out that that actually didn't happen, that was just mistaken about her organs moving around, would that have any effect on your confidence about this?
Not really.
Okay.
Not really.
Like I see some people on the street sometimes also doing similar like hands-off healing type of things, and they maybe attribute it to something else that's not jyorei.
Yes.
If someone is seeing like both of you do these types of things, how could they tell which one was more accurate in their beliefs, in which person
By
was?
the experience.
Yeah, if they're both doing exactly the same experiences, and they're attributing it to two different things.
Okay, so
how
they
could someone
get
tell?
the same experience from both.
Yeah.
practices. Um, well, actually, the source is the same,
Okay.
where the energy comes from. So I wouldn't be surprised of that as either as well. However, I do know that Mesha Sama, even though he passed in 1955, he's able to accentuate what he calls our natural power. We have the natural power to heal anyway. However, he accentuates it through this orikari that I wear. It's on a silk, it's in a little silk pouch and on a silk string around my neck. And I've noticed that I used to give my grandchildren jyorei every night, and especially when I joined, like 5 years ago. I was giving jyorei to my grandchildren every night, and when I gave jyorei in the early years, my hands would tingle. When I started to give jyorei, both hands would start tingling. And one night I started to give my grandson jyorei, and my hands weren't tingling. I was wondering what was wrong, and I had forgotten to wear my orikari. I had taken a shower and had it in this little protective box and forgot to put it on. And I was trying to give him jyorei, and I said, my hands aren't tingling. What's going on here? And then I felt around my neck, and I said,
Do your hands still tingle when you do it?
Every
Even-
now and then.
Every now
Not continuously. For the first 3.5 years, it was every time my hands
Yeah.
would tingle. And I asked for that because when I received my jyorei, when I received my orikari, my hands didn't do anything. And I said, God, I need to know that this is working. So I prayed to have some type of indication that I was working and
Okay.
jyorei was traveling through me. And in 2 weeks after that, my hands started tingling.
In 2 weeks?
Yeah,
Okay.
it was almost exactly 2 weeks. My hands started, I said, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mesha Sama. Thank you, God. Thank you.
Yeah. How does your hands tingling when you do this relate to it actually being true?
Repeat that again.
Just because your hands tingle when you do it, does that mean it's actually doing anything?
Well, it's confirmation. It was what I needed as confirmation that something was happening in the early years.
Mhm.
Now I don't need that.
Are tingling hands a reliable way to know this is true?
Not for every member, no.
Not for every member?
No.
But-
Sometimes, no. Every member's
Yeah.
hands don't tingle,
Yeah.
but because every member doesn't need what I needed. I needed a confirmation, especially in the early years. Because right after I received my orikari, they show you how to give jyorei, and I gave jyorei to my spiritual mother who had introduced me to Shumei, and she said that she could detect when I changed hands. And she said, your right hand is stronger in energy than your left hand. And I said, how does she know that? I don't feel anything. I'm just putting my hand up like they show you, and just to relax the session. And I did it just like they
Yeah.
said. I didn't feel anything, but she felt the difference
So-
because when one hand or one arm is tired, you switch to the other. She said she could
Was she
feel.
was she blindfolded, or did she not see?
Her eyes were closed. and she
Her
was
eyes were
just-
closed?
Mhm. Yes.
Could it be possible she could have
If-
known in a different way besides this?
Just from feeling, she's
Yeah.
sensitive to
Yeah.
energy, apparently.
That sounds like a very testable claim. If someone can know which hand is in front of
Yeah,
them.
I mean, that was
Um,
like, whoa, I was
yeah.
really surprised.
Yeah. If we tested that and found out someone couldn't actually do that, it was just by chance they knew it, would that have any effect on your confidence about this?
Oh, no, not at all. No, I mean, I've been in this almost 6 years now, a
Yeah.
member, and I have different different experiences of. In fact, one of my tenants, he hurt his hand at work. He had it in one of those little Velcro um, type casts,
Okay.
and he said, "Oh," he said, "Mama, I hurt my hand," and I said, "Well, would you like to receive jyorei?" I said, "Let me go to visit this other tenant, collect rent. I'll come back and give you jyorei," and I
Okay.
did.
May I ask, so what I'm hearing you say is all these personal experiences give you confidence that it's true?
Confidence, yes,
Okay.
and the longer you do it,
Yeah. So if you found all of these personal experiences to be unreliable for coming to this belief, if you couldn't use personal experience to believe it to be true, would you
personal
still
experience,
w-
personal experience is it.
yeah, if all those reasons were just
We're
set to the
not
side,
there.
yeah, just set them to the side for a minute, would you still believe in it without all those?
I would,
Really?
because in the beginning, I used to bring friends. Before I became a member, I used to bring friends
Mhm.
to the healing light of jyorei, and their personal experiences
Okay.
were the beginning of
Okay.
my belief.
So without your personal experiences and theirs,
With
everyone's personal experience, would there be anything left about it? I'm not saying those personal experiences aren't real or that this isn't real, but I'm just trying to understand what if those reasons are actually related to your confidence.
well, those reasons are very much related to
Yeah. So
my
if we had to put them to the
confidence.
side,
Put them to the side.
what would your confidence be?
Um, the results that I see in the Shumei members, the results,
It seems like more personal experience.
well, just looking at their lives and the way that they live, the joy that they experience in their lives,
I was seeing the joy in the people who do it.
the joy, yes,
Okay.
the way they relate to each other, and the way they relate to people they don't know.
So
Just love and
Yeah.
sharing,
believing in this gives a lot of people a lot of joy
yes,
and good relationships.
yes.
Hmm. And how does that relate to the truth of it? If someone gets a lot of joy from it.
Um, it's just one wonderful side of it.
Yeah. If someone was less joyful about it, would that make it less true
Maybe for them,
for them? Could it be possible someone is this true for everyone, regardless of whether or not people believe in it or not, or is it like a personal opinion?
I think it's more of a personal opinion.
It's more of a personal opinion.
Personal opinion. And
Hmm.
usually that's based on the personal experience.
Could that be possible for it to be just someone's opinion and for it to be actually true?
Mm, well, let's see, usually I have to go back to the experience. An opinion is an idea, a thought to me.
Yeah.
Experience is something that you feel yourself.
Yeah. Are feelings a reliable way to know this is true?
Feelings are true.
Could someone be mistaken about something using a feeling?
Yeah, especially if a thought is parading as a feeling. because your thoughts can
Mhm.
can parade as feelings and not really be feelings at
Mm.
all.
If someone felt that this was not true, would that be a good reason to believe it to be not true?
Based on the reasoning, based on why they thought that it was not true.
Based on why?
Yes.
What would that be reason be?
Well, I don't know.
Don't know. Yeah, if it was just based on feelings, would that be a good reason to believe it's not true?
Depends on whether that's a real feeling or a thought parading as a feeling.
So if it's a real feeling, then it's a good reason?
Yeah, because that's coming from your heart. That's where you find your true self. That's where you find
Hmm.
your that's your essence.
So if we found someone who had like a real feeling in their heart that this wasn't true, would they be justified to believe that?
They could be, but then that would be based on how that feeling came about, the process that led them to that conclusion.
Hmm. Interesting. All right. Maybe one more question.
Sure.
Is there
Oh,
anything you...
yeah. We read.
Yeah, we've been a while. I appreciate your time. This is very nice. So is there anything you could learn to find out to kind of make you think, oh, maybe this might not be exactly accurate? Anything at all?
I haven't. I mean, it's something where the more you participate, the more experience, the more personal experiences that you have. And it just really solidifies your belief system.
Yeah. Can people go through life having a lot of personal experiences and believing in something that's not true? Similar to this?
Yes, I think that's possible.
Could it be possible this might be a scenario for yourself?
I don't think that's possible for me.
It's not possible for you. Would that person also think the same thing?
I don't know.
Yeah. If they did,
If they did,
what would you like for that person to do in case, like, if they're not believing in something that's true and they're going off personal experience?
just pray.
Just pray?
Pray. Pray to God to be shown the truth.
Okay.
And see, we have a mechanism that actually does that. Our subconscious mind knows the truth about everything.
What? Our
Everything.
subconscious mind knows the
Our
truth about everything?
Our subconscious mind knows the truth about everything. And just simply muscle testing can let you know if the writings in a book are true. You just hold it next to your heart, and you can do something called the sway test. And if you sway forward, it's like, yes, the book is true. You sway backwards, it's not.
Could your subconscious mind know whether or not there's like an even or odd number of Tic Tacs in this box?
It should know that.
That seems like a testable claim.
It should know that.
How many times in a row do you think your subconscious mind could get a correct answer about
I
that?
have no idea. I would say my subconscious mind should get it done 80 to 100% of the time.
Really?
I would think.
So if we tested that
Yes,
and we found out it was like the same as chance,
50-50.
yeah, would that have any effect on your confidence about this?
That might have an effect on my confidence about my subconscious mind knowing everything.
Okay.
Yes.
So that's something we could do to figure that out.
Yeah.
Okay. Great. Might be something fun to do at some point later on.
Well, yeah.
Um,
In fact, I'm going to try it out myself.
Yeah, try and get someone to like do it, like change the number behind, like so you don't see, and
Right.
do it like
Yeah.
10 times in a
No.
row.
Yeah.
And if you can do it more than like half of the time, 80% to 100%,
Yeah.
that's pretty incredible.
Yeah.
And if
Yeah.
you can, let me know. 'Cause
Yeah.
that's
You're going to be here more than
Yeah,
a day?
yeah. I'm here a couple times a month.
Okay.
Cool. So yeah. Well, I think that's enough for today. If you see me
Great.
again, love to continue.
Okay.
Thanks.
Maybe I'll have some more information for you because I'm going to try that.
Okay.
Because I've never tried it on something simple like that. I mean, I think the last time I used it, I was asking if I was 100% human, and got a no. Then I asked if I was 80% human because a friend of mine said, "Oh, I'm 80% human," and or 80/20, 80%. Actually, I think it's like 80% terrestrial, 20% human, and I got a yes. So
You just got a yes from where?
subconscious mind,
Okay.
muscle testing, and I do the sway test. Let me show you. And basically, you just kind of stand. This is not really even, but stand kind of even, facing north, and you just relax. And for instance, my name is Annie, and you just start leaning. I'm not trying to lean. My name is Judy.
Do you think
Forward is yes, back is no. So you just ask a yes/no question.
do you think there could be an alternate explanation for why that's happening besides whatever you believe?
Well,
If you,
I thought it was wonderful.
Yeah.
I was used to muscle testing, but I was used to muscle testing in relationship to whether a supplement was good for you or not. My iridologist would do muscle testing, and she'd have us hold what she was thinking would be good for us, and then if we were strong and could hold our arm up,
yeah.
it made us strong. If it went weak, it was like, no, she wouldn't give you that. You should try something else.
And that seems like a reliable way to know that for you?
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's the subconscious mind
So
letting you know.
I'd very much encourage to test that out on something simple like the Tic Tacs.
Well, yes.
Yeah.
I'm going to do that.
So,
I'm going to do
yep.
that tonight, in fact.
Yeah, please try that.
I am.
And
Because that's a very simple way. Yeah, at least 8 out of 10. Yeah.
so yeah, try that. And if that doesn't happen, then maybe like lower your confidence about the ability of your subconscious mind.
It'll lower my confidence about the subconscious mind
Yeah.
knowing everything.
Okay.
Because right now, I believe that the subconscious mind knows everything about everything.
Fascinating. Well, okay. Yeah, test that out and see what happens.
All right.
Thanks, Annie.
Very good. You're very welcome.
Sure
Thank
thing.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Have a great day.
All righty. Is this your card?
Yeah, it's my channel. You can check me out.
I'd love to.
Thanks.
Excellent. Very good.
Have a good day. Bye.